Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I
Good.
saw I saw you were in there trying to buy a car the other day.
I can't get the one that I'm looking for anywhere.
What do you want?
Oh, I'm being picky. I want a Bronco with a moonroof.
You gotta order
So,
that.
yeah, I know. And I don't like to wait for things.
They're not leaving. Yeah, you can't find that literally anywhere.
Yeah, I know. We've literally called like every dealership probably in the, I don't know, 100-mile radius.
Yeah, you're not gonna find it unless you order it.
No. Yeah, I know. But I might. I might order it. We'll see. Or I'll just decide on a different car.
Right. Yeah, I just bought a Jeep. I'm
I
pretty happy
saw
with
that.
that.
Do you like it?
Amazing, yeah.
Good.
Just because I had a shit car, so
I remember I saw your post about that.
yeah. So, what's making you? Well, you're running for mayor, just so people know. What made you want to run for mayor of Clarion?
Yeah, so I guess I'll give a little background on myself first. I graduated from Keystone High School in 2016, went to Clarion University for my undergrad, graduated in December of 2018 with an associate's in paralegal, and began working at the Clarion County Courthouse right away. So, borough. I've lived in the borough since 2017, I think. Yeah, 2017. And then once I left the courthouse, I started working for the Haskell House that actually I'm a co-owner of, located at 500 Main Street. So I was there through the startup of that. And I think just kind of like my love for the borough, it's my home, and just being the help and liaison between everything kind of gave me that extra push, plus some outreach from the community to ask me if I was interested in running for mayor. Definitely pushed me to run. That's the main part.
Have you ever been? Isn't mayor like politics? Have you ever been big on
It
politics?
is.
You've always.
I became big in politics about 2016, 2017. I love politics, so I think I'm heavily involved is what I'd consider myself.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I was like, I want to have everyone on. And you have to be interesting. They want to run for mayor, so I want to find out what's
Right.
about it.
Oh,
Do you
yes.
want to bring like a change? Like, what do you want to do as mayor? What's your top three goals?
Right now I don't see much in change just because like obviously I'm not in that position yet, so I can't really see like the bigger things that need change. Kind of like the what's behind closed doors is what I should say, like what the council may or know. But I would like to bring more opportunity for the public, I guess, to bring their concerns or questions or even positivity to the council and to the borough, because I know not everybody can make the Tuesday meetings that are in the public. So I think that would be great to have, like, I guess you could say office hours like professors do in a way. Like I don't have an office, but I could figure something out. And I think definitely like bringing in weekend fun for families or like even kids, like in the park, like movies in the park or music in the park, stuff like that. What else? I think the university is a big part of the borough. I think being that liaison, and I think there's a good relationship there. So I think being that liaison between the university and like even university organizations and the borough would be a big thing. Cause like when I was in college, I was involved in countless organizations, but my biggest one was in the sorority I was in. And I think just having that open door to those organizations, and definitely like the faculty and staff at the university that I still contact frequently, would be a big thing.
So when you say you want to bring positivity to the town, right? Everybody kind of says they want to bring positivity.
Right.
How do you plan on doing that?
Going back to, I like to focus on the weekend fun thing that I said. Like, I think that's kind of a positive thing. Like, I don't want to run my campaign based off of, well, this needs changed, and this needs changed.
Right.
I'm sure you've heard the stormwater tax. Yeah, that needs dealt with. We need to figure something out with that. But that's not what I want to run my campaign off of. Like, what is there to do in Clarion Borough on a typical weekend? The pool can't open this year. I mean, understandably so, but the pool can't open this year. I drove around the other day looking for outdoor basketball courts in the borough because I wanted to play. There are none. So I think those are the biggest things. I know the park on 2nd Avenue is supposed to begin construction or something sometime soon, so I think that'll be good. But until then, like bringing the positive opportunities, just like that open door policy thing, like I said, for the community to talk to me or the council members, the weekend fun for the family that stuff. And of course, I'm sure I could name a whole list of things.
Is there someone as young as you running or on the board right now, or whatever it is?
The current mayor, Brett Whitling, is, I'm not sure his current or his actual age, but I know he's a few years older than I am.
I know,
But
Brett.
not much older though.
I know him.
Okay, yeah, he's nice.
So is he like resigning from it, or how's that?
Yeah, he's not running for re-election, I believe due to his family and his current occupation,
Right.
which, yeah, that's great.
Okay, so you're running. I noticed like when things are going around town, they're not really big on social media. Do you plan on bringing social media sort of into?
That's a big thing. I'm just right now using Facebook for my campaign just because, I mean, it's early. I might create Instagram, Twitter, whatnot. I don't really use Twitter that much in my personal life, let alone for something else. I kind of forget it exists. But as far as like businesses and organizations, I think social media is a big thing. I mean, it's 2021, my generation, our generation, the younger generations, like you see kids as young as like 10 years old with cell phones now. So I think social media would be a big thing. I'm part of Clarion County Coalition for Suicide Prevention, and we're trying to expand our social media. So I think like having that experience with our Facebook, our Instagram, and our Snapchat would be great to bring to the table, to be able to help like the other organizations and everything, even like get that started or like have incentives maybe.
Do you plan on like walking them through it? Because I know it's hard to understand social media if you're not on it. You can't really social media.
Oh yeah.
You can't really study it. You just have to be on it.
Oh, definitely. And I run the business accounts, obviously for the Haskell House and then a couple other businesses. And I didn't know a lot about running business social media until I just kind of jumped head first into it. So I think like me having that experience of not knowing and then like teaching myself, I'll be able to, even if I can't like, be face to face with the people or do it over a video, like I can create, here is a step-by-step list, super easy. Let me know if you need help. But I think that would be beneficial.
So do you notice any like separation between like the town and the university? I feel like they sometimes don't really go hand in hand.
Right. I don't want to say separation. I think just a lot of it is, and I'll even say from experience, like when I was in college, there wasn't much that I wanted to do downtown. My undergrad career was before I was 21. So I wasn't going to the breweries. I wasn't going to any of the bars. I'd go get coffee at Michelle's. That was about it. That was before I could afford anything at Crooks on my little, undergrad money. The Sugar Tree Boutique wasn't in town yet or anything like that. I think just even if like there was, and I don't want to say a rewards program because that sounds kind of weird, but like some sort of incentive for the university students in downtown, like it would kind of bring them down more. It's in walking distance, so why not, okay, you go to the Sugar Tree Boutique, for example. I'm just using this as an example. Show your university ID and get maybe a 10% discount or something even through the chamber would be great to have that incentive.
What is the chamber exactly?
So the Chamber of Commerce, I'm not sure the address, it's located by the new CVS. Tracy Becker is the executive director, I believe, of it, and she's great to work with. Super involved, not just in the borough, but in the entire county, I guess even tri-county area. But they're just to kind of help, and she could probably go into more detail than I could, but they just kind of help like local businesses, with advertising support, anything and everything that they would need. Definitely helps with the employment opportunities, always posting job opportunities, they just hosted a job fair last month. So just kind of all around help for everyone.
Okay, so you're involved in like the community. Do they notice the university students a lot? Because I know it's hard to notice like younger people. Do you feel like they notice them, or
Right.
you could have the impact?
So, I mean, I think it's different for me because I'm still that age. I still have friends in the university. So like, I always bring that to the attention of whatever organization I'm in. I can't speak for other organizations, but I know for the coalition, and I just use this because it's the one I'm most heavily involved with, we're trying to direct a lot of our work towards high school and university students as a mental health organization. I think it's the best thing to do. But I know we're trying to direct that. Like we just created a Snapchat filter, which will hopefully go live sometime soon. But like we have it all through the entire borough plus the university. So those university students that are still around can use it. Yeah, I don't know about the other organizations, but I know, like I said, because my age and everything and my friendship, my organizations definitely, I think, notice the university.
Yeah, I think it's important for young people to get kind of these leadership roles because older people can't relate to the younger people when there's someone
Right.
in the middle.
Right. I think, yeah, I'm the youngest by probably 15-ish years in the coalition, at least on a couple committees, and they're always looking to me like, well, what does your generation like? What can you do on social media, etc. And like, I mean, it's rewarding, I guess, but definitely see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that can be a big problem in places when it's just like a bunch of older people and they can't really understand the younger people.
Right. I think especially like once summer break and winter break rolls around too, like I don't want to say people tend to forget about university students, but they're not here. There's maybe a handful of them here. So it gets to be a lot more directed towards just the citizens of the borough that are not our age.
So how many people run against you in mayor?
Right now, I'm the only one on the Republican ticket, and then there's just one other person on the Democratic ticket.
So it's two of you running for it.
Yep.
Is Clarion mainly Republican?
Clarion borough is about 50-50. I know the county is a big red county, but the borough is about 50-50.
The boroughs with the university.
Yes. And that includes any students. I know some students may register like when they move to Clarion, they'll register in Clarion to vote.
Okay. Okay, so running as a Republican, you probably have the advantage around here.
I think in the borough, I don't want to say the advantage because if you look at the stats, it's pretty close. It's like a 49-51 ratio. I'm not sure which is more, but it's very close. I don't think either of us really have the advantage though in the borough since it is so close. It's just more of a who can work their butt off more and who's the more qualified candidate, I guess.
How do you plan on showing that you're more qualified?
I don't have any actual big political background, I should say. I've been knocking doors, I love it. It's great. Knocking doors, just kind of telling people my background, what I want to do, why I think I'd be a good candidate, kind of show them I have that strong voice and then I'm able to listen to everybody, whether it's Democrat, Republican, Independent, Libertarian, not registered, etc., anything like that. Answer questions, of course, be open with everybody. I don't think, you're running for office, you should hide anything. So even though it is like as small as a mayor, I think that's super important in a small town.
Yeah, because that seems to be a problem. People don't want to listen to people who don't have the same opinion as them.
Yeah.
So how do you, right? Someone could be like, oh, maybe you're lying because you're into politics. Usually people only take one side. So how do you prove to someone that you're willing to listen?
So in knocking doors, I figured this out, right away. Sometimes people aren't the nicest and just, okay, thanks, have a good day. And just kind of shut the door with a little attitude. But other times, like whenever you're talking to somebody, like most people can tell when somebody's being genuine or like just kind of faking their way through it. Okay. So I think that's a big part. Or even like if I share my ideas first and like why I want to run and what I think I'll do, I think that's a big important area to show that, yeah, I might be running on the Republican ticket, but I can listen to left, right, up, down, middle, everything like that.
Yeah, I like listening to both sides. I don't think people can just listen to one side because it's like you're going in circles. You have to talk to people who think differently so you can always have different ideas.
Right. I love having like those conversations with people, and people always laugh at me because like sometimes I'm very set in my views, but I just love to listen to other people and like, okay, like where are you coming from? What made you, like what got you to that point? And I love that because I love sharing like my own. So it's great.
I can't talk to people the same as me. It's hard.
It is because you just hear the same thing over and over.
But people are okay with that nowadays.
Yeah.
Too many people.
Yep.
So have you talked to the person you're running against? Like, do you guys have conversations? Like to do?
I have not got to talk to her yet. I haven't met her in person at all.
Okay. I talked to Cassie. She worked at the
yeah.
Are you guys friends?
No, I know her. I went to school with her, I think, for a period of time before I transferred to my other high school.
Okay. So when does the voting take place?
So actually, a week from today, I guess, I don't know whenever you're posting this, but May 18th is the primary election, which for the mayoral race doesn't really mean anything since I'm on the Republican ballot, she's on the Democratic ballot. There's no, okay, if there were 3 Republicans, it'd be different because the top person would move on to November. But for her and I, it doesn't mean much. But come November, the general election is whenever the mayor will be decided.
So what's your plan for the summer while the students are gone to try to get on the students' side maybe so they can vote for you?
I think since they're not here, definitely, social media is going to be the biggest thing. Yeah. Whether it's reaching out to school organizations, because I know sometimes like they stay in contact with their organization members throughout the summer and everything. But other than that, I think I'm going to have to hit it hard once they come back, get the list of who's registered where, etc., like that. And just, knock the doors, tell them who I am, tell them how I relate to them even, or like their situation, and go from there.
Do you have any updates on ALF if that's happening?
I wish I did. I don't. Fingers crossed it happens. We need that. That's a big thing for the borough. Not even the borough. It's a big thing for the county.
It was missing last year.
I know. It was so different just having a few vendors around.
Yeah. So what do you do full time right now?
Right now I don't do anything full time. I say I live a full time life just because everything, like, I swear there's more than 24 hours in a day with all I do. But right now I am in school. I'm in mortuary school. I do it all online. So I love that. I'll be a funeral director in about a year. I'll graduate. And then I'm currently working part-time at Gilbel Funeral Home as an funeral director intern. I am the manager / co-owner of the Haskell House. So I kind of, dip my fingers and dip my toes in there and do whatever I need to do there. And then I'm just involved in several organizations around town. So I spend all my time there, between the Republican Committee, Young Republicans, and then Clarion County Coalition for Suicide Prevention and Clarion Drug Free Coalition. So
what's making you work in a funeral home? Because that freaks out a lot of people.
It does. And every time I tell people that, they're like, what are you doing? And I love the response because, like, you never know what it's going to be. But I was actually really good friends with Randall Stamm, who was our previous coroner, who had passed away suddenly in November of 2019. And we had always joked, and at that point, I had nothing to do with the funeral home or the business. And we were always joking, let's open our own business together. It would be so much fun. We always said that work wouldn't get done because him and I would just have so much fun. And once he had died in November of 2019, I decided, you know what, I'll open my business for him. And that's when I applied to mortuary school. So I definitely say that he's the reason I did it.
So what exactly, when you graduate, what exactly will your job be? Your dream job? And
I would love to own my own funeral home one day. I would love if I could stay local for a while, even if it doesn't mean opening my own funeral home yet, whether it's purchasing one off of somebody who has one right now. But I'd love to stay local, work in the funeral home as much as I can. I think that, and I always say I put on my funeral face because, like, meeting with the families is like, it takes a special kind of person to, like, walk that person through their grief. Like, there's grief therapists and then there's the funeral directors. And I think, like, that goes hand in hand with everything related to that. So I'd love just to be that person that's heavily involved, like, throughout the community, of course, but in my own business as well.
So in school, are they teaching you how to talk to those people, like with psychology classes, or how are they doing that?
Yeah, they are. So I'm actually in grief psychology right now. That's one of my classes this semester. And of course I knew, like, grief's a thing. Like, yeah, you get sad. And, like, I kind of relate my experiences and what I've seen. But this class, like, dives so much deeper as to, like, different types of grief, different steps of grief, like the process, the tasks, how people handle it, and what we can do as funeral directors. So it definitely, I love psychology, so it's all interesting to me. But
I took one psychology class. It was hard for me.
It was hard, or it is hard, I should say. But I find it so interesting because I think nobody grieves the same.
No. Yeah, so they teach you what kind of different grades are there?
So there's like sudden grief, which obviously, entails kind of not coming to terms with the death, but understanding the death happened right away. Delayed grief, which, yeah, you go through the process, you have a funeral, whatever, it didn't happen. You go on with your life. And then one day it just kind of, comes up and hits you like the death just happened that day.
Yeah.
Another one, there's a ton of them. I could go on for probably 5 hours about it, but the last one, my favorite one, I shouldn't say my favorite, the one I understand the most is exaggerated grief, where like you feel more intense emotions, intense sadness, intense anger, even like intense denial. So just different things like that. But it's definitely interesting. Like, and now that I know more about these different types of grief, like I'll go back through my own life or go into like my friends or just random people's lives, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I see exaggerated grief in this person, or I see delayed grief in myself, stuff like that.
So when you get a job at a funeral home, what you'll be applying to sort of be the psychologist there?
No, I'll be the funeral director. And we don't really do much of the therapy, obviously, just kind of the sitting there listening. We can refer them if we want to or need to, whether it's to a therapist or to a support group. But overall, I would love to be just the funeral director, where I do the embalming, the cremations, prepare the body for the funeral, burials, etc., whatever the family chooses, I guess.
That's freaky.
It takes a special person.
I bet it does. I couldn't do it.
It is. I was nervous when I first started. Like the first time I had a deceased person in front of me, I was like, okay, is this for me? But now, I mean, it's just kind of like a second nature.
Is it sort of like a master's program that you're going through right now?
No, it's just mine's a 2-year program, since I already had my other credits in gen eds from my undergrad. So in Pennsylvania, you only need to go through a 2-year program. However, they do offer 4-year programs. There's really not much difference other than like the business side of classes and everything like that. So mine will just be a 2-year. It's like a second associate's degree in a way.
Okay. Okay, and you'll be done at the end of this year.
I'll be done in 1 year, so May of 22.
Oh, so you might be a mayor and still be in school.
I might be.
How do you, so you must be an organized person since you say, you do all these things. You're part owner of the high school house. How do you
Yes.
organize?
I am a strong person, or a strong believer of planners. I love my planner. It's not beside me right now. It's actually downstairs where I showed it to you, but like I have my planner color coded like between work, school, and organizations I'm in. Very OCD, and actually being in my sorority made me that way, just because there's so many things going on then too. So I was like, okay, ABC, OCD, let's do this. But I also love delegation. I think that, one person can't do everything. I like to delegate to our event manager. Like her and I work through everything. Can you do this weekend, this weekend, and this weekend? What jobs are we doing? I have this checklist. I love lists. So I think, just having that organization mindset just helps me do everything. And like, I like to stay busy. I'm not a sit at home kind of person. I always say if I have free time, I'm still doing something, whether it's go to the gym, see my friends, do whatever, honestly. I hate to sit at home.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I tend to be very unorganized, but
I was, until I joined a sorority. I'm telling you, like that was the switch that flipped, and I was like, okay, yeah, I need organization.
even when I have a lot on my plate, I just the plate's all messy.
Hey, some people are like that, and still like that's their way of getting through it.
Yeah, I kind of just go with the flow. It's
that drives me crazy. I hate spontaneous things like that. Like especially trips or vacations. Like if I'm going somewhere, I like to have my itinerary set, like what days I'm doing what. I need my dinner reservations. It's bad.
My way is so stress free. If I'm too organized, I get stressed. If I'm going with the flow, because like if you're like everything's organized, right? Say if one thing goes bad, right? It kind
Yeah.
of. But if you're just going into it, something goes bad, you're kind of expecting it. So you're not really that.
Right. I should try that.
It's not for everyone. I've done too many last minute things. It can go really wrong or really right.
I could try with a few things. Like I could start out with just like, my free time and not have that written in my planner, just kind of do my thing.
Yeah. My free time is sort of like whenever I want it, other than
Right.
outside of work and photography.
Right.
But yeah, like I'll work out in the mornings before work, and then after this, maybe I'm gonna edit, maybe I'm gonna watch a movie. I don't know yet.
I consider like my organization time, my free time, just because like I love going to most of our meetings are virtual, but like I love my meetings. I love, just getting to talk with everybody about things that we all have in common and what we like and everything, and like just planning different things. So like to me, like that's my thing.
Well, free time is just doing what you enjoy. So,
Right.
well, another reason why you should be married. There you go.
Yeah, my organization. I love it. But I'll start walking around town with different labels, sticking them on things.
Yeah. Tell them you'll teach them how to be organized, and then college goes.
Right. Exactly.
So, okay. So, I see your signs around Clarion.
Yeah.
Do you put them on campus too, or are you not allowed?
I don't actually know if there's like any legality behind putting them on campus or not. I stayed away from that just because I don't want like, the camp or like people to even be like, oh, the campus is supporting this candidate, but not this candidate.
Right.
Now, if there's houses or businesses or anything around campus that I either talk to and they want my sign or ask me for a sign, I'll be more than happy to do that. But I'm trying to stay away from like most businesses outright supporting me just because, I like to go to businesses. I don't care who they support, left or right. Like if the food's good, I'm going to go eat there. If the clothes are nice, I'm going to go shop there. But yeah, I stay away from on campus.
Yeah, campus can be a little bit too political sometimes.
Definitely. And I've experienced that both ways in my classes, like far right and far left. I'm just like, I'm here to learn. I'm here to get my degree. I don't want to hear your opinions on everything.
Mm-hmm. I stopped giving a shit. That's what helped me.
Honestly, you have to.
Yeah, I care too much, and then this podcast has helped me care less because I'm talking to everyone. It's not like
that's awesome.
Just an open podcast where anyone can come on, and
I love that. That's awesome.
Opening up my mind. But it was nice talking to you. I just want to get to know you. Hopefully, this will make people want to vote for you.
I hope so. I mean, and if not, if they don't choose to vote for me, hopefully they'll like talk to me, ask me questions or anything.
Yeah, definitely. Good. Hopefully this allows people to get to know you a little bit more personally.
I hope so. Yeah, I know. I always feel like when I go out like on events or even just door knocking, I have to put on like that, like that professional blazer and everything. And I'm like, this is more of an informal. I want people to actually know the me.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
Good. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, no problem. If you have anything else, just shoot me a message or let me know.
Will do. I'll see you around.
Great. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.